for the big race at Virginia Motor. So we kind of got a few stuff like that we got lined up of what to try and what not to do, like we did last time we were there. So we've been to Tyler County, and we qualified pole there last time, and just kind of put ourselves in a hole on the start of the race and fell back, and then just things didn't work out. And then we've never been to Princeton, so I think we've kind of got a good balance on the car right now, and we've really ran really good in the races that we finished. But if we can just keep stuff from breaking, like our right front shock, so the right front's been the biggest thing that we broke this year. So I think we've got that figured out, so hopefully that won't happen anymore.
Carson, does the mindset change when, obviously it's common sense. You're looking at the bigger picture, and I understand that. But does the mindset change when you are running for a championship, when you're out there racing on the racetrack, or you still got that I just want to go out there and win mentality?
There's some things that you take into consideration. Like at Friendship on the second race that weekend, we broke a right front shock on lap 6, and I knew we were in the points battle, and as long as that right front didn't fall, the spring was somehow in a bind and was keeping the right front out of the track. So I stayed out there the rest of the race and managed to finish 4th. So things like that I would normally pull off on, just to not risk anything else, but at the same time we needed to stay out there for points. So at I-77 we broke a shock early, and I wasn't able to stay out there because the right front just fell on its face. So that's really been the only race that we've been hurting points besides Tyler County. But Tyler County we were still able to outrun Nick Schlager. So like I said, there's things that I always go for the win, but in instances where we would probably pull off like that, I'm definitely staying out there.
And, of course, being the points leader, you got to do whatever you can, especially if you're having not those heydays of having a chance to fight for the win. Try to salvage as much points as possible when you got somebody like Nick Schlager or somebody beating on your back door trying to take you, trying to take the title from you.
Right, and the biggest thing is just trying to keep the car in one piece. Luckily, we've been fast. We got a good balance on the car, and before the doubleheader weekend at I-77 in Tyler County, our worst finish was 4th. So we were running 3rd or 4th at I-77 and when we broke, and then we were running 5th at Tyler County before getting wrecked by that lap car. So we suffered some damage from the lap car, but we were able to stay out there and get a decent finish. I think we came back to 9th. So other than that, that's been our worst finish that we've had so far this year.
Is there a track, getting tongue-tied here. Carson, is there a track that you like to race at, bud?
Honestly, my favorite track's With, where we're actually going this weekend. We went there twice last year with the Fast Track Series. And the last time we were there, we qualified pole overall and ran 3rd in the race. Just made a bad tire call for the feature, but I like the way it kind of fits my driving style, driving real straight and on the gas. So With would probably have to be my favorite, and then Charlotte is always one of the favorites just because it's a prestige track.
There you go. And, of course, in addition to that, at With, you picked up the East Coast Rumble Heavyweight Championship of the World belt. Do you still have that belt? You and Daddy fight over it?
Yeah. Dad will wear it occasionally around the shop, doing his famous Dusty Rose impression. But we got them just laying around on the shop against the wall, and they're definitely cool to look at.
Let me tell you something, brother. Yeah. That's a cool deal. Oh, man. Always good cut up with Carson. And by the way, for the East Coast Rumble, and that'll be coming up in Labor Day weekend, of course, August the 30th at Princeton Speedway, and then the 31st and September 1st, part of the 51st running of the Hillbilly 100 weekend at Tyler County Speedway. 30,000 win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. You got all these other divisions racing. Fast Track is racing 2 nights on Friday night, on Saturday night and Sunday night, but it's part of our 3-day series of the East Coast Rumble. And at the end of the night, in addition to the Hillbilly 100 champion getting big money in the moonshine, we also have the Brown Jug 30 and the East Coast Rumble championship belt will be up for grabs as well. And is that grueling? Is that grueling, Carson, running 3-4 straight days of racing, especially in pro late model racing when you're not used to doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Just if you have some help, it's not as bad. But
right,
all the races finish so late at night, and you got to try and find a hotel room. But it's not too bad. It definitely takes a toll, and you got to make sure you get your rest. But you really sit around all day. The day of the race until about 4 o'clock. So, it really gives you time to just take your time, like sleep in the morning and stuff like that. But some of the nights we won't race till about 1 o'clock in the morning. So
right.
That's definitely tiring. But once you get on track, your adrenaline's pumping and you can't feel anything then.
It's like that old cliche song, rock all night, sleep all day, so to speak. That's the dirt track life, ain't it?
Right.
Any desires to want to get into asphalt racing? Could we ever see you get into a late model stock or a super late model or a pro late model with the Southern Super Series, or dreams and aspirations to go to Martinsville or the Snowball Derby, Snowflake 100, All-American 400, anything like that?
I'd always like to. Coming from asphalt, I always felt like I was, until I get more seat time on dirt, I feel like I'm a little better at asphalt right now. But, it's always a racer's dream to make it to NASCAR. But, dirt, at this point, I'd really, really like to run super late models on dirt and run in a national series. I feel like I'd be more, I'd like to win a Sport of Outlaw race just as much as I'd like to win a truck race right now. So, if the opportunity came to run an asphalt late model, I would take it for sure. But it's just so, it's a lot more expensive on asphalt to just run every week, and get equipment. So, we're doing the best with what we got now, and hopefully we can continue throughout the year.
Talk about you mentioned wanting to move up to super late model racing. What type of knowledge and tutelage and help has your cousin Chris Olin Ferguson, Fergie time, given you in your racing endeavors?
Chris gives me more tips on driving wise at each track. But his dad, Brian Connors, he's been the biggest help for us. Each track we go to, he'll give us a baseline on where to set our shocks to. And if I need him at the track, some of the tracks we don't have phone service. But if I can, I'll give him a call, and he'll always answer and give us the best advice that he can. So I'm definitely thankful for him and for Brian and Chris. And then also Chris's brother, Brandon, he's always there to help. And I wish I could go to the track with us more, but he's racing a lot and trying to chase as many wins as he can in the national series. So hopefully we'll be up there racing with him one day.
Definitely, and I know he's been excited. Got himself a preliminary win at the Fairbury Prairie Dirt Classic last weekend in Illinois, and of course now I think he's going to the USA Nationals at Cedar Lake, and a lot of things that's going on too for the driver Chris All in Ferguson. Continued success. Carson, I was talking with somebody the other day on the phone, and it was in regards to you and your cousin Chris, and it was my buddy Joe Kelly from Florida, and I said, you know what? I said, Chris and Carson remind me so much of their driving style. I said, but the thing is with Chris Ferguson, he hasn't got that break. Everything he's done, and you can talk about this as well, Carson, because you're a family pusher yourself. Your family has had to provide and do what you're doing with your race cars. He doesn't have the financial big sponsor backing. If he had that, I think he could be somebody that could contend on the national circuit with guys like Josh Richards, Brandon Shepard, Jonathan Davenport, Scott Bloomquist, and so on. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. They're just, they have a couple good sponsors. They're able to get another motor this year and get a bigger toter and stuff like that, which helps a lot. But just really the biggest thing with them is just getting help. They're not able to all get off work. If they were able to have a sponsor that paid for really everything and could pay somebody to work on the car or pay them to work on the cars, they could really go racing a lot more. And the biggest thing that's really hurting them is that each one of their crew members, Chris, the dad, or Brian and Brandon, they all have full-time jobs. So they're not able to get off every week and miss a lot of days just to go racing. So,
absolutely.
I'd definitely like to see him get a break and drive for a team if they can't do it themselves. And like I said, I'd love to be up there with them one day.
So, final question for you, buddy. The countdown is on to the World Championship, the richest pro late model race in history for Chevrolet Performance Motors. $50,000 to win, $170,000 purse, $2,050 to start. Non-qualifier races. Everybody's going to walk away with something, and the biggest one in dirt pro late model racing ever. How do you prepare for that big race now, with it being in August? You're coming to the home stretch of over a month away. Has the mindset set in that this is about to become a reality and you're about to be part of something very historic?
Definitely look back on our notes from whenever we went there before, at what worked and what didn't work. I'd like to say that we learned a lot the last time we were there, but we learned more of what not to do than what we learned what to do. So we really lucked into that win, and hopefully we can learn a lot the next time we go before the World Championships. But that's definitely a big event, and there's going to be a lot of super guys that I feel like is going to come and run. So I think just taking everything away from what you'll learn in that race, whether you do win or just making the race, is going to be a big challenge. So just to be in the event, the whole event, definitely go down the history books. But just our biggest goal is just to make the race, and then once you make the race, just go for the win.
I mean this with no disrespect, and I've got love for all of the super late model guys, and I know there's heavy hitters coming. But honestly, Carson, I would love for it to come down to a pro late model racer trying to win that $50,000.
Yeah, there's only so fast you can go in a crate car. The weekly pro drivers, pro late model drivers at Virginia are really stout, and they run up front no matter who comes. So, it's just going to be more of an experience kind of thing once you do get to racing with the super guys. I don't think that their stuff will be any much better than ours. Like I said, there's only so fast you can get a crate car to go around there. But at the end of the day, it's just whoever makes the right adjustment for the feature, for the main event, and the 50 laps or 100 laps, however long it is. And then just experience. You got to stay in the seat and hit your marks every lap, or else if you slip up, one of them's going to get by you, and they'll be there to pounce.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go. Carson, I know that you've got to get ready to go back to work. You've got about another 15, 20 minutes left on your lunch break. Thank you for being able to join me. Congratulations on your summer shootout championship, Ladiga Motorsports. I know they're very, very excited and happy for you. And, of course, also on that 00 Pro Late model, good luck this weekend at With. Even though I particularly don't care for the series it's running it, it's all good. I know you Pro Late model guys have got to do what you got to do to run and make money, and I hope that everything goes well this weekend. And of course, I appreciate you running Fast Track and all the other great things you do. And thank out your sponsors on the on your Legends car and your late model. Thanks for being on Finish Line this afternoon.
Thank you. On the Legend car, we Ladiga Motorsports for allowing me to race for them.